What's going on, everyone? Thanks again for coming out, spending Monday night with us here at Mister's Bar and Lanes. It's always great to see this place packed. Love it. We don't take it lightly. Thanks again for coming out. All episodes, again, they'll be at golongtd.com, Apple, Spotify, all that good stuff, too. So here he is. Isaiah McKenzie's in the house. Strutting on in. Let's hear it for him. Our fancy new headsets. Yeah, you got to contend with hair up there. All right. Good to see you, Isaiah.
It's good to see you.
Long time no see.
It's been a while. We should have a lot to talk about tonight, so be ready.
A little bit to get into. That was painstaking, absurd, ludicrous. What's the word that comes to mind for that 33-30 loss to the Minnesota Vikings?
It sucks. It sucks. But I mean, I don't have words for it. It was an amazing game. You know, we had some turnovers and things like that, but at the end of the day, it was a pretty good game with a pretty good team. You know, but we always wanted to come out with the win, but that one sucked.
I think it was the first loss at home for the Bills, leading by 14 at halftime since 1968. So there's that way to look at it, right? You can be cynical and down and out, but it was crazy to be a part of that too. Yeah. The ups and the downs, the momentum swings. We're going to go through it, painstaking detail, like we did 13 seconds. But that's the beauty of this, right? It's the regular season, so it's not the end of the road for you guys.
Yeah, you're right. Coach McDermott said earlier, you know, it's better, you know, that it happened in the playoffs than it, you know, it better to happen now than in the playoffs. He said, not saying that we're going to make the playoffs, but he's saying, like, you know, it's better to happen now. We struggle now than later.
I mean, every team is going to go through a bad period. I think the team that won the Super Bowl last year, the Rams, they didn't even win a game in the month of November. Mm-hmm. So it's a long season. There's going to be ebbs and flows. Like you said, is it kind of good to have a little adversity? Because for a while, things seem to be coming easy for this offense, scoring at will, moving the ball at will, and now that is not the case.
I would say it's just humbling. You know, like beginning of the season, we're scoring 30, 40 points, you know, just beating people by a good margin. Now games are getting tough. It's November, December, whereas the good football is played. So I feel like everybody's bringing their A game now that comes in the stadium, and wherever we go, everybody's going to bring their A game because, number one, everybody got us winning, and number two is just like they want to win. So I just feel like November, December, you got to play your best football, and right now we're not playing our best football. So
that's why we love Isaiah McKenzie, though, right? You're not going to give us just cliche BS up here. This isn't PR, poll-tested, sanitized. Yeah. No, it's real. It was bad. It was bad.
It was bad.
Yeah. All right, but I don't know where you want to start with this because it was crazy. I'm guessing 27-10 after Tyler Bass makes a 45-yarder. Mm-hmm. I had to take notes. I'm not going to be able to remember this at the top of my head. A minute and 51 left in the third quarter.
Yeah.
What's going through your head at that point?
A minute 51 left in the third.
27-10.
I don't know, to be honest. I was thinking, you know, score more points as usual. You know, just keep doing what we're doing. A lot of people, you know, had their opinions about the whole situation, but I just felt like, you know, score points. I mean, we're playing football. The game's not over until the clock says 0 in the fourth quarter. So I was thinking score points. I'm pretty sure everybody else was thinking it on the offensive side of the ball.
I mean, the momentum really shifted, though, with that Dalvin Cook 81-yarder, right? It was. I mean, the Vikings offense isn't doing much. Yeah. They need life.
That was kind of like, okay, well, he scored, but you know, the offense is going to get back on the field and score again. Yeah. And so that was the plan.
Do you know Dalvin? I know you're both South Florida guys. You train together?
Yeah, we grew up across the street from each other. Me, him, and his younger brother, James Cook. Right across the street from each other. So, and we played on the same Little League team.
You and Dalvin Cook played on the same Little League team?
Yeah.
That's pretty terrifying for other little kids out there.
Yeah, but then we played against each other in high school my senior year, and they beat us. So,
what was he like at that age? Is he doing the same kind of stuff?
High school or Little League?
Little League.
Yeah, he was doing the same stuff. Yeah. It's kind of the same thing. So what I saw, I was kind of used to.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, he got a big block on that play, too. Justin Jefferson. We'll get into him, but yeah, not many words to describe.
Yeah, guys there.
So that made it 27-17, but then, boom, you guys go right down the field. Mm-hmm. Drive. 4th and 2, fourth quarter, 10:42 left. And this is, I want to kind of get everybody's thoughts on this. Like, would you have rather Sean McDermott and the Bills kick a field goal or go for it in that situation? Kick a field goal. Let's hear it right now. You got a field goal over there. So you guys wanted them to go for it. You wanted the touchdown. Okay.
All right.
I agree, because we get on Sean for being too passive in those situations. So you got to be consistent.
Yeah.
I liked it. Go for the kill. Go up 34-17. Bury Minnesota. And it didn't work out that play though.
It didn't work out.
What was your vantage point on that one? I know you got caught like out of bounds.
Yeah, I got pushed out of bounds, and Patrick Peterson made an interception. So it was just like, it's really much nothing I could do. But the ball was just thrown. I feel like it was nothing nobody could do. The ball was thrown in the air, and he picked it. It was like, hey, well, we just got to stop him. Yeah. So it wasn't much. You know what I'm saying? It's just like a.
So you got pushed out of bounds?
Yeah, I got pushed out of bounds, so I had to stay out of bounds.
Yeah.
And then so I was like, oh. And then he threw it. I'm like, oh, he picked it, and then he ran, and it's like, okay.
Because you can come back in, but you have to like reestablish yourself. I don't really know.
No, so if I get pushed out of bounds, somebody has to touch the ball for me to touch it.
That's right.
And I have to reestablish and then touch it. They can't touch it out of bounds. Yeah.
I imagine you heard from a few of your Twitter friends on that one, right? They're always on you for something.
Yeah. So the guy told me, hey, this is funny. He said, you should have just ran back in bounds and tried to slap the ball down and got a penalty. I didn't know Josh was going to throw the ball. Like, how did I know the ball was going to be in the air? Like, you wanted me to say, oh, just go take the penalty, touch the ball anyway. Like, I didn't know Josh was going to throw the ball. So how am I supposed to know he's going to throw it and me run in? Like, that's not that part of my game plan.
Yeah, it is really easy after the fact to just slow time down to a crawl.
Yeah.
Right? In the moment, it's not a crawl. Yeah. It's split
everything's
second.
moving, pieces moving, blah, 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 push out of bounds. Oh, so in my mind, I'm supposed to think, oh, jump back in bounds because Josh is going to throw this ball. I had no idea. He just threw it, interception.
At the same time, like you're up, right? I mean, things are fine. Even Minnesota, they go down, they convert 2 fourth downs. It's 27-23. They miss the extra point. And then Stephon Diggs, unbelievable game. There's probably that one play he'd like to have back. 3rd and 15 off his chest, I think. So then Minnesota gets the ball back. 3:26 left in the fourth quarter. 2:21 left. 3rd down. Von Miller sacks Kirk Cousins. The Bills' Twitter account said the game was over at that point. They declared the game over. I think we all thought. Did you think the game was over when Von had that sack?
Yeah. I thought it was over. It was what is it? 4th and what?
That would have been 3rd and.
No, I'm saying when he
13.
sacked him. When he sacked him,
there was 2 minutes left. It was the 2-minute warning. They played closing time on the Fox broadcast. Like, I think everybody thought the game was over.
Oh, I had no idea.
Yeah. Well,
the game's never over because we were 13 seconds. We know the game's never over.
Did you have, like, PTSD?
No. To be honest, when all that was going on and I was like, we're still going to win. Like, in my mind, it was just like when we played the Jets. I was like, we're going to win. I'm never thinking we're going to lose because if the offense has the ball at the end of the game, I feel like we have a great chance of winning. So,
I mean, 4th and 18. Oh. Has anybody out there seen a catch like that? Justin Jefferson. I've never seen anything like that in my life. Have you?
Yeah.
You have?
I think. I mean, not one-handed, but the D-hop. That's Arizona.
That
scoring the game.
That was Hail Mary. That's true.
That was a good catch.
But this was crazier. I
mean,
it
was 4th and 18. You think
Cam Lewis has 2 hands on the ball. Jefferson has 1. Credit to him. I mean, you could feel for him in the locker room after. It seemed like he, understandably, took it really hard. He knows he should just batted it down, and it's game over right then.
Yeah. It's easy to say in the moment. Like he wanted to steal the game with an interception. Understandable. what I'm saying? A lot of people say, why don't you just smack it down? It's just like, oh. And then, like, you're not, I mean, I guess you should think that a situation, but it's just so hard.
How difficult is that as a professional athlete?
To try to think of every situation, like try to do the right thing.
Yeah, like why would he go up for the interception, you think? Have you been caught in those moments where you kind of lose track of situation? And I mean, you bat it down, the game's over.
Yeah. That's tough. I mean, it's a lot to think about. You know what I'm saying? In his situation, it's 4th and 18. They throw a pass where it looks like the ball's coming to you, and I mean, the ball's there, and you got 2 hands on it. It's like, oh, I win the game, basically.
Yeah. You could feel for him. He was hurting after, I'd imagine, too. I don't know if you guys are friends, but like, how I mean, you've had your own ups and downs. How do you recover from a play like that?
I guess you just move on. You know, you just take it on the chin and say, hey, because there were other opportunities out there, we could have won the game. You know, it wasn't just that play. You know, so I feel like for him, he just said, hey, you know, you just take it on the chin. I mean, I can say against the Dolphins, you know, I could have ran out of bounds. I mean, I couldn't get there, but I could have. You know, but there were other situations in the game where we could have won that game. So, but like, I wouldn't say he should take. I mean, you will obviously take it hard on yourself because it was you in the moment. But at the same time, it's like, hey, you had other opportunities and it didn't work out. So
that's where I think like coaches. I always tend to blame coaches more than players. Anyways, you guys are the ones out there risking your brains and your bodies. So that's my inherent, you know, where I'm. But shouldn't the coaches just kind of be like screaming, knock it down, like just reminding everybody, okay, like this is the situation. 4th down, 4th and 18. This is what you got. Like I feel like some intervention there could help, but that's just.
I mean,
I get Cam Lewis. Like you're playing, you're reacting, you're playing.
I don't know if they said it or not because I'm not in the defensive huddle or not.
Yeah.
But I mean, if they said it, didn't say it. I mean, I don't know. That's tough.
But you had the goal line stand. I mean, later that drive, they get down there. Dalvin Cook drops a touchdown. Mm-hmm. Shaq Lawson stuffs Kirk Cousins. It's game over. 50 seconds left. The Vikings front office, I think it was reported up in the press box. They left. Everybody, like, they were done. I don't know what the probability was, but it's just a matter of getting that snap from the center and falling forward. And imagine your pal, Josh Allen, is pretty sick on that one. You weren't on the field, I don't think, right?
No. Yeah. I was sick. I'm looking at it. I'm like, there's no way. They're like pointing. The crowd, like everybody's quiet. Like the stadium's quiet, and everybody's pointing. The Vikings are pointing like touchdown. I'm like, what? There's no way. And then, for sure, it was a touchdown. And I'm like, all right, this is tough.
Man, yeah, it's. I would think. I mean, Shaq Lawson's standing up on the table, rightfully so, celebrating. It feels like the game's over at that point. It really does. It's just something as simple as we take it for granted, the exchange from the center. Mm-hmm. But you're on the 1-inch line. I don't know if like anxiety sets in. I wish Josh was here. We could ask him, right? But like, it's tough. It's tough, and they score. But to your guys' credit, you come down, 5 plays, 69 yards, 39 seconds, and tie the game.
Yeah.
So, I mean, and you made a play on that drive. But first, Gabe Davis catches the 20-yarder that may or may not have been a catch, right? Yeah. That was. But
I asked him today. I said, "Did you catch that ball?" He was like, "I guess we'll never know." I was like, "Good deal."
You guys did a good job, though. What's it like out on the field when Gabe Davis catches that, and you have to get up to the line? Everybody kind of knows, like. This might not have been a catch, and they're going to review it upstairs if they have a little extra time.
Well, when he did that, like I don't know if they knew or not, but we hurry up offense. So we just snapped the ball before they could review it or whatnot. And instead of, I told Diggs, I was like, "Hey Diggs, just run deep, or whatever, just get off the ball so the ball can snap." And he ran deep, and I just stayed short, and they gave it to me. I ran out of bounds, but I wasn't trying to run that far, so I just told him to do it.
You're telling Diggs, you go.
I'm like, you just run deep. I'm tired of running. So, and then Josh just threw me the ball, and I ran out of bounds.
That's crazy. I mean, we think that this game is so high tech, and you've spent months upon months devising the perfect play. It's just backyard football at that point.
Yeah, in that situation, it was like I'm supposed to go straight. And then I was supposed to run a seam up the numbers, and I was supposed to run a go ball, and Josh is supposed to, throw the ball. And I told Diggs, I said, hey, they called the play, and I'm like, just go, just run. And he's like, all right. And then in the mix of us hurrying up, we having a calm conversation. He goes, all right. So he takes off, and I just stay short, and then he just throws it, go out of bounds, and then Diggs makes the block, and I just run out of bounds. But I was like, yeah.
That says a lot that Isaiah McKenzie can boss Stephon Diggs around with the game on the line, right?
Yeah, I'm kind of.
He knows what's up.
Kind of like he listens. Even though he's, Diggs, he still listens. Yeah. In that situation, he was like, all right, I guess. So I'm just go. So
not a lot of time to argue.
Not a lot of time to argue. Yeah, not in that situation. No.
And then you made the play, and I think everybody watching at home here is probably screaming. Isaiah, what are you doing? Not again! What's going through your head?
The thing is,
catch the ball, and you're going to go toward the middle of the field.
When I caught it, my thing was get to the hash, because I didn't know how far I was from the sideline, and so I turned. When I turned inside, and I was far away from the hash, so I just made it right and went out of bounds. But in that situation, I'm thinking. As I'm running, I'm like, oh, okay. Because the last time I was in the middle of the field, close to the hash, I was told to get upfield. So I was making sure I saw the hash and I went out of bounds.
Right.
So,
okay, we're in territory here.
Yeah.
You don't need to fight for any extra yardage.
Yeah, no.
And I'm sure we'll get into it later, but I want to say we haven't talked in a while, but Kansas City, obviously, there's some plays you wanted to have back. Boy, when the ball is near you now, it's a vice grip. I think you've kind of answered the ball security issues at that point. How have you kind of cleaned that up on the fly?
I would just say the Chiefs game wasn't my best game. I know it, and I had to just take it on the chin. You know what I'm saying? Not every, I wouldn't say not every game, but, you're going to have a game here and there where you just you're a little off. And that game I felt off. I'm coming off concussion, trying to get in the rhythm. And I'm tripping over my feet. I'm getting hit in the air. I'm like, it's just not my day. So I just had to come back and just knock the dust off. I wouldn't say knock the dust off, but just get back in the routine, get in the rhythm with things like that. After the Chiefs, we play who?
That would have been the Jets.
Oh, that was the Jets? That was right after the Chiefs? No, right? It was the Jets.
All right, the bye week and then Jets.
Bye week then Jets. Okay, yeah. I knew I wasn't tripping. Yeah. We played the Jets and
or Green Bay. I'm sorry, Green Bay.
I knew.
This stuff. Jeez.
But Green Bay, yeah. So the Green Bay game came and I had one catch and then I had the touchdown for the jet sweep. So I was just getting back in the groove. And then we played the Jets. We played the Jets after that, right? Yeah. And in that situation, I was still, just doing my part and just running routes. Trying to get open, catching the ball, blah, blah, blah. And then yesterday came. It was like, hey, Josh is distributing the ball, and, hey, I know I can catch. I just got to get it.
I think last year you make one mistake, and it's, sayonara, Isaiah.
Yeah.
See you next year.
Yeah.
To your coach's credit, you were still out there on the field, right?
Yeah.
Did you talk to them about kind of fighting through that at all? Was anything had to be said?
Now that I talked to him, I just feel like he understands. You know what I'm saying? He understood, hey, I get it. It's these moments are gonna happen. Better now than later. And I feel like he, took heed of what happened last year and just say, hey, I'm gonna let this guy play. I'm gonna let this guy, work through his, his struggles right now. And that's what he did. So
I love it. This reminds me of like a basketball game. You think back to high school basketball, and you turn the ball over a few times, and your coach yanks you.
Yeah.
And that's just going to hurt your confidence, right?
Yeah.
It is better to let somebody kind of work through a hard time. And, mentally, it seems like you maybe overcame that block there.
Yeah. For weeks, I was like, when I get the ball, when the ball comes my way, I gotta catch the ball. I understood that part. But in those 2 weeks, the ball wasn't really coming my way either.
Yeah.
So I couldn't really, show hey, I'm back. So until yesterday, it was like the ball was kind of slippery. So
was it really?
Yeah, because the snow, rain going on.
The
field was wet. So, but yeah, it was a couple third downs.
Yeah, you were involved.
I feel like when you get in the rhythm, you get involved, and you throwing and catching the ball, it's easier because the ball's in your hands, and like, okay, I get a feel. Everybody get a feel, you know?
And you have a good base to work off. I mean, all training camp, you were the star of camp. I mean, you caught a ton of balls. Everybody's talking about you. I mean, you can kind of like that. I think putting in that work probably gives you confidence too, to know like that's the guy I am. That, you know. So the ball came your way a lot this game. Things went well. You kick a field goal. It's 30-30.
30-30, overtime.
And, you know, there was an opportunity there. I forget. So much stuff happened in this game. You just forget these random moments. I mean, with 2 seconds left, you're at the Minnesota 11. Could have gone for it, right? Is that an option, or is it kick a field goal, reset, get to overtime?
Yep.
Did part of guys want to go for it there?
No. Just kick the field goal. Just kick the field goal.
Yeah. Take a deep breath.
Yeah.
So, overtime, we all saw what happened, right? I mean, Minnesota gets their field goal. You guys drive down, and, yeah, just it's weird to see Josh Allen, you know, playing like that after, gosh, I mean, the first month, 2 months of the season, it's intergalactic.
Yeah.
I mean, we haven't seen a player like this at the position in general, and just some weird, bizarre throws. I mean, I'm not asking to be Jordan Palmer's quarterback's coach, right? Like you're not trained in that department, but you are his teammate.
Yeah.
Any idea what he's going through right now? Not the Allen we're used to seeing.
I feel like he's going through the same thing I went through. You know what I'm saying? I had my struggles, you know, and he's having his. You know, there's moments like those, and I feel like every player goes through those. Not I wouldn't say even whoever the MVP of the league was 5 years ago went through the same thing he's going through. You know, I just feel like every player has those moments. You know what I'm saying? You'd rather it be now, early in the season, mid-season, than later, you know, in a late season when we need those games or in the playoffs. And I just feel like, you know, Josh is just going to, you know, take a step back and say, hey, you know, what was I doing in the beginning of the season that I'm not doing now? You know, just take a lot off his shoulders. Say, hey, if a guy's open, throw him the ball. You know what I'm saying? Go through your read, go through your progression. You know, make the right decisions. And I feel like he does, for the most part, he does make the right decisions. You know, these last few games haven't been his best games, but we still believe him no matter what. You know, he's, like you said, we haven't seen a player like him in years. So he's going to bounce back, and, you know, everybody goes through it. Every player goes through it, you know.
It is so true. I mean, given what you've been through in your career, I mean, back to how it all began, right, in Denver, and them kind of giving up on you and working through that, and it's, you know, that mental side of the game as well as anybody. I don't know if a lot of fans understand just, it's physical, right? We're watching these games, and it takes an element of speed and strength and athleticism and quickness, but I mean, every player I've ever talked to, it's way more mental than any of that. Mm-hmm. How, would you agree? I mean, how mental is just playing professional football in general?
I would say it's more. I mean, we have more meetings than we have practice. You know, and I feel like that's the mental part of the game. But also, it's just, you know, getting yourself prepared mentally to go into a game where, let's say, you're, for example, 36 seconds in the fourth quarter, we got to get downfield to score 3 points. Like, and you got 74,000 people watching you. And mentally, you're like, I got to make a play. I can't be the guy that messes this game up. You know, that's a lot. You know, and just in general for a player, it's just like you got to go in. You got to know cover. First of all, you got to have meetings during the week, practice, play through injury. Maybe you're going through something off the field. You know what I'm saying? And then you got to go into a game on Sunday, play your best football so you can help the team win. And if it doesn't go your way, you got to fight through that and then come back the next week on top of what you done last week. And then you got the media. And then you got
the damn media.
and if you're a Twitter bug, you got Twitter. And then it's like all these things go into, like, you get to thinking, like, you know, am I the problem? What am I doing wrong? You could be doing nothing wrong at all. It's just not going your way. And it's just like you got to find a way to tone all that out. And it's hard to tone out because there's a lot of people talking to you. And then next thing you know, you get a text from your coach, hey, come upstairs, I need to talk to you. You're like, oh, my coach is thinking this too? Now you feel like everybody's right.
That's so perfectly put, Isaiah. I mean, I feel like you guys are dehumanized from basically every direction.
Yeah.
Right? The gamblers and the fantasy football owners.
I didn't even mention that.
I mean, next time you're watching like a Monday Night Football game and somebody just makes a huge mistake, just for fun, like type in that player's name on Twitter and see what pops up. It's insane. On Instagram, I said we were doing this tonight. I had people messaging me calling you words that I'm certainly not allowed to say. It blows my mind that you guys, so there's that dehumanized where it's do your job, shut up, don't screw up, you're costing me money.
Yeah.
And even like the front office and the coaches, I mean, there's good coaches and good GMs out there who do treat you as people. I mean, look no further than the Vikings. You get rid of Mike Zimmer, who treats everybody terribly, awful. We wrote about it at Go Long if you want to check it out. I mean, I think Kevin O'Connell's the exact opposite. I mean, he has players excited to go to work. I'm sure Dalvin Cook could fill you in. He probably remembers those Zimmer days, but it makes a huge difference. And front office wise, they're trying to replace you.
Yeah.
If you're not doing a job, like I know we think of the star players, but like a fringe guy, a backup, a role player, you're one mistake away from needing to uproot your life and move to a different city, and you might be out of football just like that. And you got to think about something else.
Yeah.
It's I can't imagine processing that all in that moment you just described when there's 30-some seconds left, there's 70,000 watching, there's millions at home. How do you handle that? I think this is why a lot of players are super religious. Yeah. You just got to look to God and say, like, I'm letting go. I'm letting go. It's out of my hand. Honestly, I feel like that's a big reason why.
Not just that. You know, the weeks before this, weeks before yesterday, I mean, we lost to the Jets. We didn't play too well. Then the end of the Green Bay game, we didn't play too well. And then comes to this game, you got all this, like, you know, these players aren't producing. You know, get somebody else in. Do this, do that, you know, blah, blah, blah. And then this game comes, and, like, 30 seconds comes, like, okay, what is such and such going to do? You know what I'm saying? He hasn't been doing this well. Let's see what he does. And, you know what I'm saying? I feel like for the most part, you kind of get some, how would I say, some, like, relief. You know what I'm saying? That, you know, we've been struggling these past few weeks, and then we go out there and do that in 30 seconds. You know what I'm saying? Where we've been on the struggle bus for a while. Yeah. And like you said, mentally, it's like it gives you a sign of like, okay, you know, such and such can still do this. You know, it's just, I don't know. It's a lot of mental and physical. Yeah.
You've survived. I mean, you're one of the longest tenured players on the team, which says a lot when you're not. I mean, I know you're the face of the franchise. Right? But you're not on a 10-year, $200 million contract, whatever. You've kind of operated on those fringes. So what is the key to handling that pressure that you just described to stay in the NFL as long as you have?
I guess just do your job well and fight through those struggles. Because the thing is, when you're struggling, and then like you don't know how to get out of it, how to get out of the funk, and people have different ways of getting out of their funks. And I feel like for the most part, if you're struggling and you keep struggling, that's when it goes downhill. But when you know how to get out of it, and you know, like, you find a way to get out of it, and you know how to get out of it because you've been through it before. Because I feel like a lot of people that made it, that's in the NFL, for the most part, they don't know how to get out of that funk, and it just goes downhill. And for a guy like me, like you said, like, every year has been like, you either make it or you don't. For me, luckily this year, I got an extension, but for the most part, every year for me has been like, okay, I got to find a way. I got to find a way to make this team. I got to find a way to take advantage of my opportunities. I got to find a way to, do my best when I can. When a guy goes down, I got to fill his role. I got to do his job. And for the most part, I've done that. And, I've also dealt with my own struggles and found a way out of those. So I just feel like you just got to find – it's easy to say find a way and you control what you can control when somebody else is controlling more than what you can control. It's just,
Especially as a receiver. I mean, you can only take over a game if the ball heads your direction. There's so much out of your control.
So it's just like a lot of things. It's like I said, it's easy to say, but you have to go through it, and I've been through it for years. So I know how, but I can't really say it. I know when I see it, I can say, okay, that guy's going through it. And if he works through this, and he has the talent, he has the ability, if he works through it, he can be good. But, for example, Kadarius Toney at the Chiefs right now. Kadarius Toney was at the Giants, first-round pick, and struggling. He wasn't playing. He had off the field issues and things like that. He gets to the Chiefs, they're playing them. He's catching the ball, running routes, scoring touchdowns, and
stud.
He's doing good so far. He just need to change the scenery. And
change the quarterback, Daniel Jones to Patrick Mahomes.
I like Daniel Jones.
I'm not asking you to. I'm not asking you to talk bad about him. They are different quarterbacks.
They are very different. But I mean, Patrick Mahomes has proven himself.
Daniel Jones is tough. I mean, he's winning some games this year. That's true.
But I like Daniel Jones. I've liked Daniel Jones before this season.
Really?
And I always say he's a poor man's version of Josh. And I get stuff for that. Because
that's
I
kind.
just,
you could say homeless man's person of Josh. But he's he's playing really well.
He can run.
Yeah.
He's big. He can run. You know what I'm saying, probably doesn't have the same arm as Josh, arm talent, but he can throw the ball. He's not like a noodle arm. He can throw the ball. He can run. But I mean, it's not Josh, but
that's such a good point though. On finding tools to get you out of a funk.
Yeah.
I mean, in the book that hopefully everybody here will want to buy after the show, The Blood and Guts: How Tight Ends Save Football. Right. Got to seamlessly fit that in. I was talking to George Kittle. I mean, when he was at Iowa, he was in a really bad place, living and dying with every play at practice. He's buried on the depth chart. He's just partying too much. And in practice, he said he'd screw up. So he talked to a psychologist that they had there on campus, and they told him, on your wrist tape, just draw a red dot. And so after every play, you just hit it and you reset. And he said that was a turning point for him. He stopped kind of living and dying with every play, and things took off for him after that point. So I don't know if you wrote a red dot on your wrist.
Nah.
Were there any little things you did? And then back to Josh. I mean, he's obviously going through something, probably more between the ears than anything elbow or anything else. Are you talking to him? Are you trying to be a resource for him?
Haven't talked to him. You just got to let him think it out. And then, a couple guys probably did going to talk to him, the coaches and things like that. So, I mean, they're all going to talk. I'm probably going to say something crazy. I'm probably going to give him a joke or something, you know what I'm saying? Just to lighten the mood because I'm pretty sure everybody's talking to him. And
there's a value to that, right?
Yeah, it is, But for me, I don't know. For me, there's no one thing I do to get me out of a funk. No, I just go home, play a little Call of Duty, eat food. I'll probably have a thought in my head damn, I should have did this. But it's just you know what? Don't think about it. The next day, I'm going to go to practice. And if everything's still in place, I got a chance. So, if as long as I still have my job, I got a chance. That's how I think about it.
Is it hard to not agonize over a play, a game, when you go home? People don't see that side of being an NFL player. When the game's over, you got to go. You got to live your life, right?
Yeah.
And you could just be staring at your tablet, reliving everything, driving yourself nuts.
There's always plays you want back.
Yeah.
But you can't let it, like you said, you got to reset. You know what I'm saying? There's plays even in those moments, you got to tell yourself, okay, next play. All right, whatever. We'll figure it out on film on Monday. But on Monday you oh man, I want that play back. But it's over. What can you do?
All right. Well, let's try to fix everything then with the team. So obviously the big question now is, why do the Buffalo Bills look like one team in the first half and then another team in the second half? How can that get fixed, do you think?
Yeah, I have no idea.
No.
That's hard for me to say. You know what I'm saying?
What's it like at halftime, though? When you're in there, what's happening?
Well, for lately I've been getting IVs, so I haven't been tuning in. So I've been getting IVs at halftime just so I won't cramp up. But I'm pretty sure for the most part, when I'm in there, we're just talking about how we can stay consistent, you know what I'm saying? Limit the turnovers and just, do our job to win this game. And, let's just go with the flow of the game. For the most part, we're always up. So when we're up, we say, hey, we just keep them down and let's win this game. So it's easier said than done, but we still got to go out there and do it.
I mean, the last three games outscored 43-12 after halftime. I think, was it Diggs actually put it pretty well. He said that Vaughn always says don't blink, and I feel like we might be blinking a little bit in the second half.
Yeah.
What do you think he means by that on blinking, when you come out there in the third quarter?
I'm human, so I always blink. So when Vaughn says don't blink, it's just like, I guess don't panic. You know what I'm saying? Whatever goes on in those situations, like don't panic. Like just be ready to go. Like always have your eyes open. Always be ready. And I feel like when situations happen, like bad plays or something, don't blink. Just go. Just keep going. You know what I'm saying? Don't think about it. Don't close your eyes. Just go. Yeah. And in the second half, like you said, we've been outscored, and we just got to learn. We're not learn. We just got to finish. Put opponents away. And I feel like in the beginning of the season we were doing that. Now it's been a struggle, but it's only a struggle. It's not permanent. It's not something it's not. I would say. How you say it? Like it's not something we're not capable of. Like we put opponents away at the beginning of the season. We just got to do it now and keep doing it. And keep being consistent.
Right. Have the foot over the jugular and don't let up. Right. Mm-hmm. Which is kind of how you guys played. I mean, you went going for it in situations, throwing the ball downfield. Yeah. You got Cleveland next. They're a team that liked you, right? Back when you were a free agent, you could sign with the Browns.
Yeah.
Was it close to any of these other teams? Did you put your mind in that place at all with anybody?
No, I didn't try to put my mind there because I didn't want to be nowhere else. Yeah. So that was kind of.
Yeah, for people who don't remember, I mean, one of the first shows you said you could have taken more money elsewhere.
Yeah.
Right. Substantially more?
Yeah, a lot more.
A lot more.
Yeah.
But you're okay just living on what you have. I mean, you're not necessarily hurting, but right? You're taking a lot less to stay here for what reason?
Yeah. Like I said before, like I've been here for a while, and I've watched this team grow, and I've watched people come and go, and I've seen the bad days and I've seen the good days, and right now I feel like we're at a point where we can do something good here, and I want to be a part of it, and what I'm saying, hopefully for years to come. So we'll see.
Well, I think everything you've been through, you could be a really go-to guy with where the team is right now, right? Whether it's in the locker room talking to people and even on the field. What kind of role do you want to play in this offense? I mean, we've kind of seen it in bits and pieces, but, I don't know. Offensive coordinator Isaiah McKenzie. How is he using Isaiah McKenzie? This is your opportunity to demand the ball 10 times a game like Sammy did back in the day.
Nah, no way. Demand the ball, because you got Diggs demand the ball 10 times a game. That's kind of you let him have that. And then, just distribute it a little bit. That's all. Just give me a couple of here and there.
6, 7.
6, 7. I can do that.
It's good.
I can work with that.
Well, awesome. I know we got a lot of questions out there for sure for Isaiah McKenzie, so we'll rev it up. Oh, okay, yep. So we have a stationary mic this time. So if anybody wants to trot on up, or I think we have a cord on it, right?
Yeah.
Awesome. Thank you.
Test.
Hi. So, basically just, after 2 tough games recently, like how the team morale is basically right now, and how do you guys kind of focus in on the next game?
24-hour rule.
Yeah.
You kind of like watch the film and then move on. For the most part, everybody's just kind of thinking like, okay, what can they do better? Look in the mirror, if you would say, like, just what can you do better? Can you do your 111 better than what you did last week? And I feel like everybody's fine. Everybody's in a good spot. Everybody's in a good headspace. They just gotta, we all just gotta come together and say, hey, we're better than what we've been playing like, and we understand we're struggling, but we can't be in this funk for too long because, the end of the season is right around the corner. The playoffs is right around the corner, and we want to peak at the right time. But I feel like for right now, the struggle bus is okay, but we got to get off it soon.
Yeah, well, we love you. We love the Bills. So, let's just finish strong, basically.
Gotcha.
So,
Thank you. Uh-oh.
There you go. I have a very important question. Do you like chicken wings?
That is a great question.
I like chicken wings.
Yes. Do you like him?
Sweetheart, y'all like chicken wings?
Yeah, that's my question.
Yes. Oh, sorry. My bad. I was talking to her. Yes.
Okay, just wanted to know.
What kind of chicken wings? What kind?
Any kind's fine. I don't know. Like, I'm not really... Ranch.
Ranch over blue cheese. Wow. Yeah. Buffalonians are way too hard on people who enjoy ranch with their chicken wings. I agree.
Not my husband. Hey, Isaiah. I wanted to ask you about your utilization on the team. How you feel about it? Do you think you're being utilized to your highest potential? I know that might be tough to, answer how you will.
That's tough because I don't.
I'm not trying to put you in a hard spot.
No, that's fine. That is a tough question.
I'm sorry.
I would say.
Do you want me to speak for you, Isaiah?
Yeah.
I
I'm
feel
gonna
like
need a little bit of
people-
help.
No, you can answer it. You can demand the ball. It's okay.
I mean, if I'm out there, use me. You know what I'm saying? That's what I say. You know, I can do a lot of things. I'm fast. I'm quick. I can catch the football. Like, use me to my full potential and use me whenever you need me because I'm there. I'm not just, I can do a lot of things. I would say that.
I agree.
So, yeah, I mean, I can be used more.
I think a lot of us would. I just wanted to know your thoughts on it.
Yeah, I can be used a little more.
Okay.
I'll ask tomorrow or something.
Sounds good. I'm going to be at the Cleveland game, so I'm hoping to see you out there.
All right, cool. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Like the jersey.
Great question.
I have a very important question.
Okay, yeah.
Who's your favorite Bills player besides yourself?
My favorite Bills player is Matt Milano. Yeah.
What's your favorite pregame meal?
In a little dirty crew.
Yeah, I see that.
That's sharp.
I like that. I like that sweater.
Thanks.
Pre-game meal. I would say home games. I eat a steak the night before. I like steak. The night before, but I don't eat. I just eat a banana before the game. That's about it. And sometimes breakfast. My girlfriend, she cooks breakfast, and I'll eat the breakfast. But if I don't eat breakfast, then I'll probably eat a banana. So away games, I'll probably eat a banana.
How do you like your steak cooked? Very important.
Very important. Way more important than the chicken wing.
Medium well. I mean, a little bit of pink, I guess.
Medium well, you said?
Yeah. What's wrong with that?
Come on. Why don't you just eat a slab of tar or rubber?
No,
like
but
a
that's well
plastic?
done. That's well done.
No, it has no taste.
Medium well has a little bit of taste.
None.
So you want to eat it like what?
Medium rare.
Ew.
You need some juice. You need some red.
That's like what? Is that good for you?
Yes.
Somebody said no.
No, it's
not good for you, right? And she's a doctor. I can tell.
it's very good for you.
It is?
Yeah.
Is it good for you? I don't know because I think
You want to eat it for the taste,
tastes-
right?
it tastes good. It ain't good for you.
It's both. It's both.
Hey, we appreciate the dancing, so thank you. But I love your comments near the end of the game about how the plays are switching.
Say it again.
How the plays are switching near the end of that game, right? You're telling Diggs, you guys are doing this thing. So we're talking about hate coming out on Twitter and the social media, and Dorsey got a lot of it at the end of that game, right?
Yeah.
But how much was Dorsey involved in that, or is that Josh and the starters? Does Dorsey even have anything to do with that? You guys just take the game and control it and go.
Yeah.
right?
Dorsey calls the plays, and we just run the plays the best way we can. And I feel like Dorsey called a great game. Just like players, coaches wish they had some calls back, and that's how football goes. You always gonna want something back. You can't call a perfect game. You try your best, and Dorsey's doing. He's coaching. He's doing a great job coaching. And in that game, he called the play, we ran the play. And he can't throw the ball himself. He can't run the ball himself. He can't do nothing. He just got to call a play. And, we just got to go in there and execute. But Dorsey's, he's a great coach. He's been doing a great job this year. And, sometimes he's going to get that just like we're going to get it. And as long as we're in the building, we know, what we have. It doesn't really matter what anybody else says.
Thank you. Exciting game. It was great.
Appreciate it.
That's a great question. I mean, really, because you think about the outburst up in the coach's booth. That's what we saw. Were there any private outbursts from Ken Dorsey after this game?
No, I mean, he probably
no
had
holes through the walls.
No, he probably had his own, coming to Jesus. But like everybody has those, and especially as coaches and players, Yeah,
I mean, he could have retrospect. I know hindsight 2020. But, I mean, you got 3 good backs. I mean, that's the criticism, right? You got this lead, run the ball more. Josh is driving it down the field. So is that the quarterback taking those risks down the field, or is it the play calling? That's the kind of stuff that we wish we kind of knew. But
yeah, I wish I knew too.
So for your fantasy owners, me being one of them, just what can I expect for the rest of the season?
I haven't dumped you, by the way.
I was just going to say I did well with you in the lineup this week anyway, all right? I'd like just a little bit more targets because you're getting most of those catches, all right? There's no ball security issues for me.
Yeah.
I want to see more. I can't wait to see more.
I got you. Well, we'll see.
I got you is good enough. Thank you.
Got you.
I think he just went on his phone and traded you real quick. Just kidding.
We have no more questions?
Any more questions?
I think people don't want to walk. That's the problem. People don't want to walk.
If you want to just sit and yell, that works too.
Oh.
How did you meet your girlfriend? Now there is a hard-hitting question.
I'll tell you.
Oh, she's getting red in the face over there. No.
I tell you. It's a long story, but a good story. Not really long, but hey, so. Hold on. Let me answer it. It's my turn. So last year, July. So I've known her for a year and a couple months. We've been dating for a couple months, but I've known her. I know last year, July, right? I hit her up on Instagram. I think she hit me up, all right. I hit her up on.
You trying to rewrite history, Isaiah?
I hit her up.
You're on the record. You're on the record right now.
So I hit her up on Instagram, and we were talking. Having a great conversation, and everything went well. Smooth guy. Beautiful girl, handsome guy. It just meshed well,
What are you literally saying though? What's? Do you have the message saved anywhere?
No, I think she has it, but okay. Yeah, I think. Yeah.
What's the pickup line from Isaiah McKenzie?
What else? It was something.
Did you see the game Sunday?
No, because this is off season. This is the camp. No, this was June, July. So it's so we're talking, right? And she came to see me. She lives in Orlando, so she drove down to see me. From
Miami. Orlando to Miami?
Yeah.
That's commitment. It's a long drive.
Why not, right? So so she comes down to see me, and I had just opened a restaurant. And, things were just going, and I had a lot of things to do that weekend. So I ended up kind of leaving her in the house. I wasn't really talking to her. I wanted to hang out, but she was there but not there, and I wasn't around. I kind of left her in the house, and I was doing all the wrong things. I didn't know that. I was just going with it, So it was one night. We went out, and we had a great night. It was one night. That was that one night, though. It was the rest of the weekend was kind of shaky. Mm-hmm. So one night, it was a great night, and I thought everything went well, right? Go back. She goes back home. We talked for 3 days. Never hear from her again.
Never you want to explain yourself?
No, not yet. So I never hear from her again, right?
And you're heartbroken.
Broken.
Sad, Isaiah.
Sad. You know what I'm saying? But we were having this conversation the other day. So I told her I earned everything I have in my life, including, her. Because I had to earn it. She made me earn it. So whatever. So anyway, 3 days go by. We stopped talking. Bam. So September comes around, right? September comes around. We're about to play the Steelers, right? And I asked her, I said, hey, you want to come to the game? She was down in Orlando. You want to come to the game? And she goes, yeah. No, she said, I'll see what I can do because she has to work. So I started looking at flights, trying to book her a flight, just get her up here, you know what I'm saying, to make up for, that weekend. I had no idea I did anything wrong, right? So next thing you know, come Friday, it's time to come up, and she said, hey, she's not going, she has to work, da-da-da. She gave me all these, hey, Saturday, on some reason I go on Instagram, I look at her story, she's in Miami. I thought she couldn't come. But she's in Miami, partying. So she told me, she said, hey, she told me this year, this is what I found out. She said, I wasn't coming up there because, the first time didn't go well, and I didn't think you wanted anything, so I wasn't going to waste my time. That's what she told me. So, okay, I said, cool. All right? She just told me that this year, but it was last year, right? So months go by, we speak here and there. December comes, the Patriots game, the good game I had. She texts me.
After the game?
Yeah.
Of
course.
She
said, oh, you had a good game. I said, there's no way she's watching this game. She knows nothing about football. So her dad is a Bills fan, and he told her that I had a good game. So she texted me. I said, okay. So we started talking. Bomb. A couple days later, don't hear from her again. I said, all right.
Is it because you went back to the bench after that game?
No. I don't know what it was. Probably, So the off season comes. We speak here and there. So this when I came, I was like, you know what? I want her. I'm going to get her. And that's it. So June comes around. And you're going to love this story. This is the best part. June comes around. And I come from Colombia. By the way, I invited her. She didn't go.
Invite her to Colombia.
Right?
She declined.
Right? So I come back from Colombia, and we were texting at that time, and I say, when I get back from Colombia, I'm going to go to Orlando. I'm going to drive to Orlando. Well, I'm going to Uber to Orlando because I wasn't driving. I Ubered to Orlando, and I came to see her. I saw her, we went to the water park, had a good time. The next weekend, she came to see me. So that next weekend, I said, hey, I told my sister, I told everybody, I said, hey, I'm going to actually be my girl this weekend, right? So we go, kids, close your ears. We go to the
earmuffs.
We go to the strip club.
Oh. Okay.
And
you did warn. You did warn the kids.
Yeah. So we go to the strip club, and you have bottle service. The sparkles and the sign, and on the sign, that's put, "Kim, will you be mine?" in the strip club. So that was kind of weird, right? So, and then she didn't believe that I was too serious.
Really?
So
you're so romantic, I say.
Yeah. She didn't believe that I was serious. The sign was serious because with other signs.
You arranged this ahead of time.
Yeah, arranged this. So it wasn't until a couple. It was after. Yeah, it wasn't until after camp during the season where she found out we were together. Wow. Because she had asked one of her friends. No, she told one of her friends. He didn't ask me to be his girlfriend, and her friend told her, I think that sign was saying be his girlfriend. So then we're together. I thought we was together.
And in her mind, you're not together.
In her mind, we're not together. So I'm like, okay, cool. But now we're together. So it took me a while. I earned it.
There you go. Let's hear it.
I told you it was kind of a long story, but it was kind of cool because I was like, yeah, we're going to have a story to tell our kids.
Yeah.
So
good story for the kids.
We're going to have a story to tell our kids hey, your mom had me chasing her for a year, and it didn't take us till we got to the strip club for me to.
Well, it is interesting because I think everybody assumes all pro athletes. You've just got like there's very little effort that you have to put into that entire game, right? You can just they're all going after you, and you can just pick whatever.
Exactly, and that's what she's thinking at the time,
right?
Like, oh, you have all these girls. Why you want me? And I was like, no, I'm trying to get rid of them. Right. I just want you. That's it. You know?
Oh, there you go.
I had to deal with that. You know, like football player, the stereotype.
Human nature. I think like primitively, we need like little resistance. Right? Like gravity. There's this. Yeah. You needed the challenge.
Yeah.
To find your soulmate.
I'm always up for a challenge. You know, every day it's a challenge.
Yeah. All right. So when are you going to propose, Isaiah?
When am I proposing?
Yeah. You can do it right here if you want.
It's a surprise, but I will.
Oh.
I told her I will.
There you go.
She knows. But the thing is, just like everything else, she doesn't believe me.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, you're not a believable person.
No,
though.
she believes that it's possible. But for me, like, it might be like, I don't know, like a ring in the toilet. Like, like this is how you propose. She thinks, you know what I'm saying? Like,
you're a prankster.
Me, being me, she doesn't think like I would get on a knee and.
Do you have it like plotted? And
Yeah,
planned
it's already planned. She doesn't know when. She just knows.
Okay.
That it's happening. And we also plan. Well, I guess you can't plan that. Like practicing on a baby.
Yeah.
We're trying to make that work.
All right. Well, if you want to incorporate the show, you can.
Kids, cover your ears. Huh? Come on up.
Oh, yeah. Come on up.
Come on.
She's sitting right over here. Well, everybody waved at Isaiah's future wife.
So, you know, since we're on her, right? So, like, today we were at breakfast, and she's like, oh, Isaiah, you love all this attention. And I'm like, you know what I'm saying? I'm trying to get you some.
You're trying. Yeah, the face of the franchise.
Yeah.
What's her nickname going to be?
Like Miss Dirty or something. Like,
Miss Dirty. Yeah. There you go. Yeah. Who wouldn't like that nickname? All right. Should we wrap it up? Do people want to hang out with Isaiah? That's probably what we should do, right? That was awesome. Thanks, everybody, for coming out tonight. This was fantastic. We'll both be hanging out up here, right? Unless you got to hit the road. Are you good for a little bit?
Oh, yeah, I'm good. Just hanging out.
Perfect. So come on up. I'll be here as well if you want to grab some blood and guts. Would be greatly appreciated. And thanks so much for coming out.